Claude Albright and Emma Albright are buried here. Claude was an opera singer, well-known opera singer, and toured both the United States and throughout Europe in the Royal Opera Company. So they are very celebrated musicians that are buried here.
Hello, I'm Sarah Dunn. How do you do? Cicily always had music playing. In the background, usually silly love songs or jazz. So much jazz. Whether we were huddled together in her hospital bed, sharing favorite songs on our laptops and iPods, or listening to one of her many playlists pipe through the mountain resort where she hosted writers' retreats to offset her medical costs. The music always balanced the ever-present notion that we were on borrowed time together. Listening to music ensured that each moment had the potential to bring joy and comfort. She knew music and the written word were a powerful force to create memories that would last longer than our time together. That's the wrong page. Life was in Breckenridge, Colorado. At the Writing Away retreats, we would share stories with our dying friend. She was already dying when we met. Her declining health was no secret, even as devastating as it was to watch play out on such a young and vibrant mother. As long as I knew her, Cicily was full of life and close to death. Her soul is staunch, and even in death, Cicily has remained a force of creative inspiration and unconditional love. I fly to her hospital bedside, and we read our stories to each other. There is a special connection shared between authors that is rare to other relationships that I have had. We are sisters of accountability, which is why perhaps my most destructive act of grief was to stop telling my stories after Cicily was gone. The breath gone from her lungs was wind lost in my sail. I floated aimlessly lost on a ship, no longer remembering how to sail whatsoever. If I could not share my ambition of becoming a prolific author with Cicily, herself on the climb, then why try? I could not see myself as a writer after she died. This was a painful way to grieve because not only did I lose my friend, I lost my voice. In the beyond, I channel Cicily to finish what I started. One year at Right Away, Cicily asked me to perform my stand-up routine in front of the group. We gathered around the fire, and wouldn't you know, the only person to heckle me was the one who invited me on stage in the first place. Obviously, my ego was annoyed at the time, but now that she's gone, I appreciate her candor, teasing, and call-me-outness only a gifted and diplomatic editor could possess. Now when I channel her, that same voice comes through telling me that I'm being vain and selfish. I'm haunted by a heckler who undoubtedly loves me unconditionally enough to spend her afterlife teasing me from beyond. She implores me to write, to show up exactly as I am in this moment, to weave together words with the playfulness and sincerity I learned from my forever friend. I'm so grateful for the 7 years that we had together. We knew she was dying the whole time and made absolutely sure we were living to the fullest. As I write this, I'm crying and listening to Tears Dry on Their Own by Amy Winehouse. I am grateful for Cicily's continued encouragement. Learning to lose my friend is how I learned to cherish her. Now I know I can keep her memory alive every time I put my pen to paper. For Cicily, I love you.
Thank you to these companies and organizations that make the Before I Die New Mexico Festival possible. A good goodbye. Gail Rubin puts the fun in funeral planning. Compassion and choices, improving care, expanding options, and empowering everyone to chart their end-of-life journey. Daniel's Family Funerals and Cremations, Fairview Memorial Park, Gabaldon Mortuary, Sandia Memory Gardens, and Vista Verde Memorial Park all in the Albuquerque area. Estate Pros, offering professional dispersal of personal possessions due to a move, illness, or death. The Final Exit Network, educating about and defending the right to choose at end of life. French Funerals and Cremations and Sunset Memorial Park in Albuquerque. Gathering Us, providing in-person and virtual memorial services and online memorial pages. Keeper, providing hybrid and virtual memorial services and keeping memories alive with online tributes to preserve, celebrate, and share life legacies. Morris Hall, estate planning attorneys in New Mexico and Arizona. Remembering a Life, your guide to honoring a life well lived, from planning a tribute to mourning a loved one. And Retirement Extender, investment management services with a personalized strategy recommendation based on your needs and objectives.